Hi guys, today's review it's going to be on the Deluxe Class Black Knight Strafe figure from the Transformers Takara Movie Advanced toy line, or in other words, Transformers 4 Age of Extinction toy line. I finally got this figure. I actually got him a while ago, I just forgot to review it for you guys. So here it is brand new in its packaging. In terms of the full packaging is basically the same as the Hasbro series with a slight change. You have the limited edition logo here. You have Black Knight Strafe and its new painted color scheme. The figure itself looks really nice from the packaging. You can see kind of like a dark gray black detail with some kind of light navy or like a metallic navy blue coloring detail covering some parts of the figure. Transformers logo on the side, Transformers 4 logo on top. And at the back, you have his Dino Mode, his Robot Mode, in the new paint color scheme again. Short bio, up top left corner, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. So in other words, the packaging is pretty much the same as the Hasbro series. It's only the figure's paint scheme that's probably different. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and see how good of a figure he is. Alright guys, so I have Black Knight Strafe open straight out of its packaging. So once you open the packaging, of course, it does come with a set of instructions from Dino Mode to Robot Mode and from Robot Mode to Dino Mode. In 12 steps, I guess. And obviously it comes with his weapons. So there's a push friction kind of arrow launcher. You just it's the ones without spring, which is the ones that I don't really like. You basically push it and then it fires pretty well. A projectile, and then if you want to fire it again, just pop it back in like so. It also comes with two swords, or spears, I guess. It's painted actually pretty well. You have some metallic detailing on the side. And what you can do with the swords is, of course, the figure can hold it through the handles here. You can also peg it onto the arrow here to form like a, I guess like a more badass arrow weapon or a mini jet. And just to show you guys, you can peg the weapons into his hands. Like so. Oops. And like so. He does have weapon storage. But the weapon storage does occur when he's in his Dino Mode, which I'll show you guys when we go through the Dino Mode detailing and the articulation on the Dino Mode. So I'm going to unpack the weapons for now. So if you follow the instructions to transform this figure, it actually tells you to tuck his wings at the back like so. But technically speaking, you don't have to keep it that way. You can actually expand the wing all the way out. And for a deluxe figure, his wingspan's actually huge. It's very, very lengthy. Very, very nice in my opinion, because he looks much cooler with his wings out, like so, rather than tucked in. Does resemble somewhat similar to Batman, in my opinion. But very, very nice figure overall. The paint scheme detailing mostly in the gray black theme, as the Black Knight description does mention. You do have a bit of a metallic or light blue detail. You have on the eyes, the Dino Head, the visors of the robot head, and if you open the Dino Head away, you'll see kind of like a metallic navy chest plate here. So you have a bit of a blue detail. The wings are colored beautifully. They're metallic kind of gray, and then you kind of have different shadings of it, and you have two Autobot logos and some wing detail. The claws are here, the Dino claws. There is a metallic silver rubber paint on the Dino tail, and it gradually deteriorates into like a dull gray. I love the paint detail on the Takara versions. They're really, really nicely done. And then basically that's pretty much it. The rest of the figure is mostly in kind of like a metallic, light metallic gray and a dark gray theme with a bit of a blue detail. So it does somewhat resemble more closely to what Strafe looked like in the movie. In terms of articulation, his wings, obviously you can extend his side flaps, I guess side wings out. You can also move it up and down. So you might be noticing that the shoulders and your arms are moving with it. If you actually hold on to the shoulders, you can move the wings separately. So you don't have to move it together. You can move it separately if you want, which is really nice. So you can have it pose like that if you want. And in terms of his head, it is on a ball joint. So you can move it up and down. You can move it on the side. Typical ball joint movement. On robot mode, these two dino heads are supposed to stay like that, but you can also flap them open if you really wish to. I don't know why, but I don't know why you would want that to be done. Maybe you want a triple head transformer, but you can do that. So you can move it outwards. Shoulders. So besides moving it with the wing, you can move it up and down, like so. You do have a twist joint here where you can twist the bottom part of the shoulder. The elbows, you can move it up and down, another twist joint. And that is pretty much it. And then his hands, you can move it slightly down and slightly up. And you can move it the whole way because this piece kind of gets in the way. So that's pretty much it for his arms. And then waist movement. He does have a bit of a waist twist. Can't say it's a lot, but there is a bit. Legs on a ball joint. And then the knees on a twist joint. And no feet movement. It's quite similar to other deluxe class Dinobots in this toy line. And at the back, you do have the tail, which you can flip up all the way up to this level. So you can have him posed with his tail up, but I just like to leave it down, just for simplicity purposes. So very, very nice figure. One poseability or one kind of joint that I really wish they had was if they would have made the arms able to twist like this way instead of just moving up and down maybe to the side, it would have been much better. Because when I move the whole arm joint, if I would just want to move at the elbow, I can't do it. I have to move the whole shoulders up, which is kind of a complaint that I have for this figure. But other than that, paint scheme, everything, I like it. It's a pretty nice figure. So without further ado, let's get into the transformation of this figure and see how good he is in his Dino Mode. So to transform Strafe to his Dino Mode is actually really easy, and one of the easier deluxe figures to transform in my opinion in this toy line. So what you want to first start off by doing is flip the head out like so, flip his robot head all the way in, and then you can basically push this kind of dino neck part up like so, and then twist his dino head out like so. And you have this first part done. Second part is, you see there's like a slight peg here, and then there's a hole on the other side of the arm. So basically this pegs into this piece. So what you want to do is just extend the arms all the way, line it up, and just wiggle these two pieces in like so. And then make sure it's pegged on tightly. Do the same for the other side. Just line them up, peg it in, and there you go. And then next, legs, you want to flip the whole kind of knee joint or leg joint all the way in like so. And then do the same on the other side. Flip the legs all the way in. And then twist the whole knee joint over. Flip the claws in. And then if you actually just kind of move it to this side, expand wings, you have him transform in his Dino Mode. So really easy transformation. Let me zoom out for a second so you guys can kind of take a look at his flight mode, I guess. So very, very easy transformation for a deluxe figure. You can make it stand, so just kind of move his dino feet down like so. So he can stand. Now in terms of his weapons, so you can store them a few ways. You can basically peg this piece on the back here. There's kind of like a hexagonal peg here, so you can kind of put it right smack in the middle. And then for the spears, it basically goes on to the claws. There's a hole here. You can kind of peg it in there as well. This one is actually hard to peg in for my figure. I'm not too sure if it applies for all the other strafes, but when I peg it in, it's actually pretty difficult to do at first. It was really difficult to get it in. It's a very, very tight joint, so you just have to kind of wiggle it, be patient with it. Hold on. And there you go. So the weapon storage is basically this. It does look somewhat stupid with the arrow launcher on top. That's why usually typically when I transform Strafe, I actually keep all the weapons separate and I peg these two spears onto the arrow to form like a jet on the side. Similar to the way I showed you in robot mode. That's all I do with the weapon, and then the rest of the dinosaur I leave it as it is. But you can have it store the weapons this way. So not too much different in his Dino Mode in terms of coloring and articulation. You can flip the wings up and down. You can move it up and down this way as well. Of course, the flaps, you can move it in. Tail, I guess, you can move it up and down. The dino feet. The shoulder, I guess the knees here, you can only move it to this extent because it locks it. And if you want to move it more, I guess you can lift it that way, but then it'll show kind of like the transforming leg part in his robot mode. Toes or claws, you can move it up and down. His head. So his head, the beak, you can open it, and you can actually open it pretty wide. You can move it, you can twist the head on a full rotation. You can also move it side to side. So very, very nice feature. And that's pretty much it on the Dino Mode. In terms of paint details, the only really additional paint detail, as I mentioned before in Robot Mode, in Dino Mode, is a bit of a metallic. You could see this in Robot Mode, but I guess it shows more in its Dino Mode. The blue eyes on the head and kind of like a metallic blue face detail on the side. That's really pretty much it. Very easy transformation and very, very nice Dino Mode in my opinion. It does look somewhat more closely accurate to what he looked like in the movie. So to transform him back to robot mode, again, really easy. I start with the legs first, so move the legs back down, flip the whole piece over like so. Again, do the same on the other side, and then just twist the legs over, and then you have his robot feet done. And then next, just kind of unpack the arms, move it down, unpack the arms, move it down, and then now it's really optional. I like to leave my wings like so, but if you want to follow the instructions fully, you're supposed to tuck them at the back like so. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's really your preference. I'll just follow the instructions for the sake of this review. And then flip the head up, or actually before you do that, push the two dino necks down first, flip the head up, and then you can basically flip these two Dino Heads down, like so. And you can just kind of let it rest on the chest. And there you have Strafe back in its robot mode. So overall, the wingspan to kind of have a decent comparison against the other deluxe figures or Voyager figures. So here he is in his Dino Mode, Strafe in Dino Mode. And here's Black Knight Slug. So they're around the same size. I would say same size. It's not that different. The only big difference is really his wingspan. His wingspan's huge. And you also have Black Knight Scorn. So the 3 Black Knight Deluxes are all together now. They're around the same size. Scorn's a bit larger, I would say. And if you count his wingspan, he's going to be the largest one. And obviously, a Voyager class comparison would be my Nemesis Grimlock. There is a Black Knight Grimlock. But it's a leader class figure. It's much larger than the Voyager class Grimlock. I like the combination of 4 of these better than the leader class Black Knight Grimlock, so I usually display it like so. So this is basically the Dinobot team from the movie. It is somewhat more show accurate for the Black Knight repaints, I have to say. So overall, the Black Knight Strafe figure, very, very nice figure in terms of detailing. Articulation's weaker, I would say, comparing to this guy and this guy. So that's pretty much it for this review. If you guys have any questions or further comments, leave it down in the comment section below. Again, more reviews will be coming up. I apologize for a delay for this review. I know you guys have been waiting for this. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and post as many reviews as I can. And thanks for watching.